Now, Ita Buttrose is reported today as telling the UK Chamber of Commerce that Australian millennials lack resilience and are in constant need of hugs and reassurance. Someone else who's been looking at how well our unis prepare young people for life is the Executive Director of the Menzies Research Centre, Nik Keita, who joins me now. Nick, you would concur with Ita Buttrose, I presume?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think that I'm worried, as she is, that the next generation who are coming out of university, just come out of university, are very ill prepared for the difficult times we have ahead. I mean, the truth about the COVID-19 virus is that in the short term, the biggest effects are felt by the older people who are more likely to die from it. But in the medium to long term, it's the younger generation, it's the millennials, the up-and-comers, who are going to have to really, grit their teeth and just bed themselves down to work hard and to produce the growth that we need, as well as pay off, a quite considerable debt. Now, have they got the wherewithal to do that? I just think they've been very, very badly taught, very badly brought up by their parents. They don't have that sort of resilience. And I think that the killer is this identity politics that you identify. Because, the tendency now, and you hear it all the time, is to say, well, I can't, it's very hard when the whole system's against you, when you're a woman.
Well, just stop on that point, because when you wrote about this, Nik Keita, you referred to a video. It was a Labor Party sort of campaign, a young Labor campaign video that highlights university students. We've got a couple of clips of that now.
Entering adulthood isn't easy, but entering adulthood as a young woman when the whole system is already set up against you is terrifying.
And now, ScoMo is cutting JobKeeper in September. We're being bled dry.
I mean, this is extraordinary stuff, Nik Keita, because this is a young girl not growing up in Iran or 1830s Australia. She's growing up in Australia now and whinging about the system being stacked against her. And the bloke there whinging about JobKeeper, the greatest, investment in giving people support that this country's ever seen.
Yeah, and I should say, look, I'm not having a go at either of them. They're just a product of the education system they've been brought up in. But what that young lady had to say, the system's against me, it's an intensely disempowering message. We want women to be empowered, to feel that they can go out, they can do whatever they want if they try hard enough, that the only barrier to success is your own character, your own failings. But no, she's starting out in life saying, well, it's very hard. It's a fatalist attitude, Chris.
Well, and you're right.
And it's the kind of attitude we just don't need right now.
Well, our universities have got to focus on it. They should have in the past, but they need to now more than ever, because, as you say, you're on the side of younger people, and sadly, because of the economic consequences of the pandemic, they're going to be entering a tougher world. They will need resilience and a bit of ingenuity.
Yeah, and you and I know what that's like, all right? We both, well, first of all, we both had to enter the workforce and battle to get into our chosen careers. I mean, it is, whatever career you're choosing, it's always going to be hard. So you need to feel that you just give it your best shot. But secondly, I guess you and I have also worked through a recession. It wasn't a deep recession, the one in the early 90s, but we know what it's like, when jobs start to disappear, wages start to come down, people are put on part-time, and they're danger of losing their jobs. It is horrible. And it really does take a lot of character to battle through at a time like that and just go for whatever opportunities that are there. And I just sense, I could be proved wrong, I hope I am, but I just sense that this coming generation are not really ready for that sort of hard work and application that's needed, and far too quick to give it all away and say, well, what can I do? The system's against me.
Nik Keita, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you, Chris.
Nik Keita, you can read him weekly in The Australian.